All righty, we are live. Cajun Coin Hunter here today, aka Boudreaux. And yeah, I got my Cajun hat on today. All right, Tex Guy, how you doing? How's the weather in Texas? I see y'all getting some rain over there. Houston, Beaumont, all that's getting rain anyway. Uh, Biloxi was getting a bunch of rain earlier, and I know somebody in Biloxi. There's several people in Mississippi, a bunch actually. All right. Yeah, I'm hoping for rain over here. Cools things down a little bit. And we had a little bit the other day, but we need some more. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if it rained 2 days in a row, cool this atmosphere down. Let's see here. Okay, I got my chat popped out. Wonder. Here. Yeah, I did that. Got my link sent out. All right. And we got a guest in the basement today. Let's see if he's back in here. Nope, not yet. Well, anyway, it is Smoky Ribs and Barbecue. Mr. Russ Jones himself from Biloxi, Mississippi. How you doing, Russ?
Doing good. I just figured out my refrigerator problem. I've got a electrical, what do you call that, to stop lightning from hurting your computers
Oh,
or what?
yeah, surge protector.
Yeah, I got a surge protector, and then I got another surge protector plugged into that one in my ace on my refrigerator. And I turned it off yesterday. I forgot that refrigerator was hooked up to it. But Keith just uh, texted me, and he said that Uncle Larry lives in Gramercy, Gramercy.
Gramercy. Yeah,
Gramercy.
that's not far from Hester.
Okay. And then his place of business is right there in Hester.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I read on the
Okay.
product. The,
Yeah.
it has it on the website. I had
Okay.
seen that. I just forgot which one it was. I thought it was Chalmette or something like that. Chalmette is a suburb of New Orleans,
Yeah.
right on
Okay.
the outside. Mike Tessina, Radio Mike, how you doing? Another day. What's the news? Lots of stupid problems here. It adds up after a while. Yeah, yeah, I know the feeling. Text guy 790 again on call. River Rat, what's up, Mona Me? John Francis is in the house. Another Louisiana man right there from around the Alexandria area. Yeah. So you turned one of the strips off, or both of them?
I just turned the one off. And the reason I did, I've got my Mac Pro book right here, and I got the charging cable up here, and I didn't want that thing running with it not being charging. You know what I'm saying? So no problem. I'll just unplug it from the strip and keep the strip going. Uh, I've also got oh crap, I can't think today for some reason, but I've also got a radio here, a ham radio, and it stays in its charger, which that ain't no big deal. When it's fully charged, it'll cut itself off. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this iMac charger up, and just leave it on.
Hey, Rail 9222. Miss Carol, how you doing?
There we go. All right, I'm good.
Lightning versus consumer electronics. Yeah, he's got one of them search strips. Something like that. It's more or less not. I don't know about lightning. I just know a surge, like if your power would ever go out, then it would come back on. It
Yeah.
would kind of protect you like that. Lightning? Uh,
Well,
I can't tell
supposedly,
you. I never had that experience.
I have it. I've seen it. I didn't have it, but I worked for a mechanic shop, and their office had two or three computers in there. They did their books and everything on. They had them all hooked to surge protectors, and man, lightning popped there one day, and it knocked out all the lights. And anyway, what it done is it destroyed that surge protector, but the computer still worked. It protected it, and it's hard to imagine really because lightning can jump across anything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it burns people's walls down. I knew this guy had a CB radio and a base station. Anyway, that lightning, he had a, what do they call them? Android or not Android?
Antron
And
99.
something like, yeah, yeah. and it hit his antenna and come and it zapped that doggone CB radio and caught his wall on fire. It got them wires so hot.
I got an APC also.
Okay.
Miss Carol got one. You'll see those in.
All I got is a handheld ham, and I can't hardly pick up nothing. I'm hooked to some repeaters around here, but if I'm inside the house, I just can't really pick up. Every now and then I'll hear somebody on there, but I don't think it's very
real good, decent antenna on it.
Yeah, there's a Cable One repeater not far from me, and I've heard people talking on there a little bit, but probably during an emergency or something, you'd hear a lot more. People's all internet nowadays, it seems like.
Yeah, that's probably a bow thing you got right there.
That's a Yasu.
Okay, first cousin.
Yeah, they've been around a long time.
Oh, Yaesu. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's not a first cousin to bow thing. Yeah, bow thing might have imitated some of that stuff. No, Yaesu.
Yeah,
that's a $200 handset you got right there.
Oh yeah, I got it just for emergencies, hurricanes, whatever. Just to kind of, if you had to communicate. I'm not licensed, but if it's emergency, like if it's life or death, you don't have to be, and that's all. It's mainly to listen in. I thought about getting my license, but
you don't have to do Morse code anymore. You get a technician's license, and just know the bands that you're on, with frequencies and what bands, and you got to do a little bit about.
Yeah, I'm hooked up to Cable One repeater. Gulfport's got a repeater, and Van Cleve, Mississippi's got a repeater, and I've hooked into the Cable One just listening to guys, but I get bored because nobody chit chats on it like they probably did at one time.
I wouldn't leave it in the charger all the time.
Well, the charger cuts off once it's fully charged. It kills the power to it.
Yeah, I would still take it out though.
Yeah.
Well, once it's charged, take it out. That's with any kind of equipment like that. Raging Cajun and what's that loan of me?
But normally I keep the power off to the charger. I just do it because it cradles it good, But just a good place to keep it. I bought that other antenna. It came with a shorter antenna. And since I put this new one, I haven't heard anybody on it. I might go back to the old one.
It's 99 here in Texas. Heat index of 107. You don't have hardly no humidity there.
We got some heavy rain earlier.
Yeah, I saw that on the radio.
And high wind. Man, that wind was blowing.
I saw that supercell going through there.
Yeah. We got more coming. It looks, no, it's just north of us. It looks like that's going to be about all she wrote for now.
All right, Raising Cajun, not a problem. Raising Cajun. Hey, Missy Luquette, the best Cajun cook on YouTube. You're going to make her blush. 85 at Rails. Yeah, he's up north. He's up by the Canadian border. That state up there. Yeah, I almost ordered a bow thing earlier this month. I'll wait till next month. They have a sale on it.
Yeah.
$17.
I wouldn't mind having a base unit with a big antenna in the back or something, but I doubt I do.
If you got enough property, you could put you a dipole up.
Yeah.
Get you a balance, and then get you but I mean, if you're not in that Yaesu will do what you want, but you confined to 200 megahertz, that band, and
5 watts, I think, is what this transmits at. This one here.
Okay, well, you got a choice between low and high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first got it, I was doing a lot of research on how to even use the thing, and I haven't played around with it in a month or two. The other day, I was trying to go back to the memory, the ones I had, and it took me a minute to remember how to do it, but I figured it out. I'll just leave it set on memory. It'll go through all my repeaters and the Weather Channel. It just keeps searching till it picks up something. You know,
Gotcha.
then you can hit that side button and lock
Right.
it in to where you can just sit there and listen to that one only, or you can hit these arrows up or down and go through them. You know.
Right. Your weather channels are like 156, I think, somewhere around there, 156 megahertz, up but
Yeah,
near the 2 meter band area. And
yeah, I don't
VHF,
remember.
the VHF, like for marine, that's all right around that 2 meter band and 140, 160 meg, something like that. Morse code, yeah.
Yeah, Van Cleve.
That's a double band or tri band?
1445. I mean 144.510 on that one. This is the Weather Channel 146.
What's your upper limit? What's your highest frequency you can go to?
Oh God, I don't even know. It's way up there.
Should be at 400 band, 400 meg.
It's on memory right now. I don't want to take it off memory because I'll forget
Yeah,
how
don't do that.
I'll forget how to get it back on there. That's all I can get around me is what I got it programmed for. So
Yeah, if you want to get like an antenna, like you were saying, Yagi, Yagi.
yeah, they got those ones that look like an umbrella, kind of. You know that.
Oh
About,
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about something like that, but I
yeah.
doubt I do. I'm just going. I got a handheld. You know, if I go outside in a disaster, I might be able to reach somebody. At
You can
least
make
listen in.
you can make a set of beams for that, and your beams won't be, but the elements 2 foot tall.
Yeah,
2.5 foot tall, maybe. Your reflector element. Then you can rotate it
yeah,
and point it the direction you want,
yeah,
and that would be a certain band, like 2 meter band,
yeah. They got
which
those.
would be that 144 and all that.
That one antenna I was just describing looks like an umbrella. Those are
Mhm.
portable. They're like on a tripod with guide wires. I could set it up right out here in the front yard and run it through this window if I had to,
Right.
just to be able to reach out. You know, I might do that.
Yeah, you can make your own antennas out of wires. It's
Oh yeah,
dipole.
yeah. I've watched all kind of videos on that stuff.
Oh, okay. And so you know what a dipole is.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
get 160 meters, you get way down there, uh, and those frequencies, that's a long stretch of wire.
oh yeah,
Long
yeah.
stretch of the wire. Yeah, you need a acre and a half to put you up an antenna like that.
Now I've got one of these emergency radios with that hand crank to power it up. It's got like some sort of rechargeable batteries in it, but it
Yeah.
was powered up when I bought it. But I can pick up ham radio, I can pick up shortwave, I can pick up all kind of things if I just want to listen. You know,
Hmm.
FM, AM. It does pretty much all of the Weather Channel.
Boss, I had a phone call. I heard the term marine radio go past. What y'all got cooking? Nothing. We're gonna be eating leftovers. Either beef, pork, roast beef sandwiches. She made a roast beef, cut it up. I said, got some beef on sale for two something like that.
MBL,
Yeah, two something like that.
what's up, MBL?
Nothing but love. How you doing,
Got
Mom?
somebody in here. Got somebody in here I recognize other than you.
Yeah, you're gonna see a couple more too after a while. NBL comes in my streams every time I stream, every
Okay,
Sunday. He's in here, and a few of the other guys. Kyle will be in here after a while. Lance will be here.
okay,
Uh, should have sent him a link too. I'll do
all right.
that in a couple minutes. And
Yeah, they going live at 6, I think, 6:05.
right, yeah, right at about 6.
I hope I ain't got nothing in this fridge that's gonna go bad because I didn't realize I killed the power on this. I got some. This has already been open. I might need to throw that out. It's been out a whole day. It's still
Oh
cool though.
no, that's still good.
It's
That's
still cool.
dressing. That's good. That's still
Yeah,
good.
it's still cool.
Mayonnaise, that would still be good.
Oh yeah, today's mayonnaise, man. You can read on the label on some brands that says uh, nothing
Non,
about refrigerating after
right.
open. You know, nothing.
Blue
Salt.
Plate, your quality brands like Blue Plate, and what's the other one up there? Oscars,
Dukes.
Dukes, and then they have Oscars. I think that's out of made in either Mississippi or Alabama. You can see it in.
Yeah. Well, they got Bama brand too. That's what my mom used to buy a lot of was Bama brand
Okay.
mustard and mayo. Big old jars. You could buy it back in them days for under $1 a jar. It's big jars. But
I want to say it's Oscar. That's a popular around not Pensacola, Pascagoula. At Wayne Lee's has
yeah,
the Oscars and stuff. And I used to
yeah.
get Blue Plate for the boat
I like
because
Blue Plate. That's what we buy, you know.
you can. And I'm living proof of this. I'm still alive. Uh, the galley in the engine room, or you got the engine room, and you have to go through the galley to get to the engine room. You just open the door and you're there. And there's no insulation in them boats underneath there, underneath
Yeah.
the main deck. There's no insulation down there. It gets hot in that galley in the summertime because the engine
Yeah.
room's right there.
Oh
And that
yeah.
engine, that 671 Detroit diesel, is constantly running to turn that hydraulic pump for the reels, the hydraulic reels on the snapper boats. Well, all we never had refrigerator on that boat. There's no 110 electricity. All it is 36 volts to run the
Mhm.
lights. And you taking everything out of ice chest. Well, Blue Plate, we just open it, use what we need, close it, put it on the table in the galley.
Mhm.
You do not need to refrigerate.
Right.
As long as you don't refrigerate it, okay? Once you refrigerate it, once you open it, put the cap on, and refrigerate it either then or halfway, half full or whatever. Once you refrigerate it, it has to stay refrigerated.
We
Can't
do
go
anyway. We always refrigerate that and mustard and ketchup. You ain't got to refrigerate none of that stuff. We just
no
do.
mustard, no
That's
ketchup,
what our
no.
that's what our parents did. So we just do, you know. But
Right.
I even put hot sauces in my refrigerator. Just you know,
Yeah,
ain't no
yeah. Hey,
ain't no reasons to. Some of them I don't like Louisiana hot sauce or Tabasco. I don't. I leave that on the counter. But even
yeah, I
that
do
looks.
too.
But it'll start looking funky after a few years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what? Hey, the large bottle of Tabasco, the biggest one they make,
Hmm.
that only lasts me 2 months. I don't have to worry about it looking funky.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I eat
Because
a bunch of that
I,
stuff.
I do that on my rice and eggs in the morning,
Yeah,
or my rice and gravy for supper.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I buy that big bottle of Louisiana hot sauce a lot of times. That joker's that big around, about that tall, and I'll go through it all. You know, it's no problem.
I
Loves
have
that
a
stuff.
gallon jug of hot sauce, Louisiana hot sauce. It's a
Yeah,
gallon jug. It's a glass jug with the, the one
the
finger or two
thing.
finger
Yeah,
ear on it. Yeah,
that's what I bought. That's what I've bought in the past. I don't have any right now, but I've bought it in the past.
this one was given to me. So, and
I
I need to
use it
start
in
using it. I forgot I had that. I've been
I'll
having
use it
that a
in
couple of years.
I'll use it in cooking videos. You know, before you know it, you got to buy some more.
Yeah, that's true. Well, for those of y'all that didn't see the video, here's what I'm going to be showing off today for a little bit, talking about it. Shitload. And as y'all can see, that's a bunch of seasoning. You got special shit, bullshit, all shit, good shit, chicken shit, and no shit.
No
That's right.
shit.
No shit.
No shit.
Big 6-pack. They got 6 containers of seasonings in there. And let me tell you, and that's heavy right there. That is heavy, that little box. I guarantee you that thing weighs 2.5 pounds. 3 pounds, probably 12-ounce bottles each. Let me see. See what that says here. 12 ounce. Yeah, 12 ounce.
Well,
So
the only question I got, what does it taste like? It don't taste like shit, does it?
no, I'm pretty sure it don't taste like shit. I've ate some other people's cooking that tasted like shit. They didn't need that seasoning.
I hear you.
uh, but it's okay. The bullshit's for beef, naturally. That's what it amounts to anyhow. Because it says on the container, good ribeyes. The best cut of beef there is, best steak there is, ribeye, and I agree with that.
I think so too. That's my
Chicken
preference.
shit, for poultry, ducks, geese, chickens, quail, marsh hens, guineas. I love guinea. I love a good guinea jambalaya, good guinea gumbo. It's a dark meat.
I don't think I've ever had guinea.
Oh
I've
man,
seen plenty of them. They're loud and noisy, man. But
yeah, it's
I
the
don't think I've ever.
farm alarm fowl,
Yeah,
they call it. And here we go, all the way from Canada. Yeah, all right. We got Bubba in the house. Bubba Turner.
I had to take a second look there for a minute. He's just messing around.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I actually do look like that though.
What's up, Turner? Sour.
Oh,
diesel.
just enjoying the sunshine and relaxing today.
A chucker? Yeah, I've ate some chuckers already. We used to raise them. Chuckers.
I ain't
Bigger
never had
than
that
quail.
either.
They're
I've
bigger
had
than
quail now. I've had plenty of quail. What are those little Cornish hens you buy? What is that?
A Cornish hen.
That's what it's called. Okay, I know it's what it's on the
Yeah,
label.
They get about that big. Once you defeather them, you got what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing but love. You like that no shit seasoning, huh? I got a friend of mine, Pat Paulsen, and the crew, the gang, is Pat Paulsen, Diabolical 58, Power Stroke Jude, Tarek, T6 Tarek, and Speed Wrench. There's another one or two in there in the gang, and they send me stuff like that every now and then. They want to see some cooking videos, hint.
Do you remember this Pat Paulsen? He was a comedian back in the day.
Oh yeah, he ran for president a few times too.
Yeah.
It wasn't no joke. He was actually on the ballot, on the slate, about 4 times. I want to say. He got
that was
18,000 votes one time.
That was a long time ago. That was like in the late '60s or something.
Yeah,
I remember. I was just a kid.
Comedian. He got a few little skit songs,
Yeah.
Jazz, bluegrass jazz, something like that. He's got a few songs out. Yeah, the Pat Paulsen I'm talking about, that's just his channel name. That's not his real name.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's not as funny as not as funny as the Pat Paulsen you showed. So.
Yeah, the Pat Paulsen that I'm speaking of that sends this stuff. Him and the gang. He owns a Snap-on tool truck. He goes around selling mechanic tools.
Yeah,
mechanic shop. He's got a route that he runs all the time. So there's a few guys in
oh, don't do that.
Mechanical,
make me do that.
Mechanic community and tool community. Pat owns a truck. I thought Diabolical 58 did, but somebody said, I don't think so. Boom, 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 boom. Power Stroke Jude's in the house with a $2 super chat. Appreciate it, my brother. Boom, my dude. Happy Sunday. Yeah. Jude, I forgot to send you a link, bro. I thought it. Oh, Jude, did you see? I don't know if you had seen the video. This is what Pat Diabolical was talking about the other night. Buttload, jetload, seasoning, all kind of good shit. Everyone ends in shit. That's one of the most diverse words you can put in today's English language.
There's actually a show, and I was telling my wife about it, and she had to watch it. But it's the F word, and how it's used so many different ways, just like that. It was funny. It's like never thought about it until I watched it. I'm like, yeah, they ain't lying.
Yeah. Well, it all depends on the infraction in your voice, the tone that you use, the context. They're very universal words, and sometimes negative, sometimes positive.
Exactly. Yeah.
But for some reason, we're just not allowed to say them in public.
Yeah, no.
But the word shit, there's a million different sayings with that word. You just put another word or several words with it, and shit has a million different meanings.
Yep. You can take it all kind of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could say, shit, man, Cajun, you're awesome. And that's a positive thing. Or I can turn around, that McDonald's burger was shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Then I would turn around and say, no shit.
No shit, Sherlock. Like, oh, you finally got the blunt of the joke or the point of the joke. No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, you say that a lot.
See, that's the thing is I'm not scared about using these words on YouTube because I know I'm never going to get monetized. Second I get to 1,000 views, YouTube's going to cancel my channel and go, no, you're too big and provocative now. No. Controversy. Get out of here.
Yeah, they go overboard on that crap. It's all in your movies. It's everything you watch nowadays, but yet they want to sit there and censor you, you know.
But you can always tell a person that's had children because when they're talking and with most people, they'll instead of saying shit, they'll say shat, or they'll come up with different words and stuff like that. In place, you know, a person has a child when they go to curse and there's children around and like fruit and fritter.
Yeah, Yosemite Sam language there. Yeah, that's it, Power Stroke Jude. You got it. Same old shit. What you have to? Same old shit.
Yeah.
Different day. Yeah.
Yeah. And had something else on my mind. I forgot
what are you eating? Shit on a shingle.
Yeah, what are you eating? SOS. Shit on a shingle.
Yep.
And then like if it's like my granddaughter's around, instead of saying shit,
I'll be back.
I don't cuss anyway. Okay.
I'll be back. I gotta take a shit. No, I'm just picking.
You gotta see a man about a horse, huh?
Yeah.
See a man about a dog. That's number one. See a man about a horse. Number two. Or lean off the dock. You gotta go twinkle. Hang off the dock. You gotta go take a shit.
My mom, she never said a cuss word in her life that I know of, and it was just a little thing between me and her. I said, "Hey, Mom, tell me a dirty joke like that." She goes, "2 white horses fell in the mud." You know.
Yeah.
My mom used to say stuff like, "Oh, you're gonna go use the Biffy? Are you gonna go make M&Ms, or are you just gonna make apple juice?"
Yeah.
I remember
I usually say shiitake or sugars, instead of saying shit. Kids around, I say, "Oh, sugars," or "Oh, shiitake," because if SHI is coming out, it's going to hit me in a split second, and I'm going to add shiitake on it. Shiitake.
Yeah. I remember my youngest son, man, he couldn't have been 5 years old, and he come running in the living room. He goes, "Hey, Daddy, I just poo-pooed a nanner." I said, "What?" He goes, "I just poo-pooed a nanner." And he said he couldn't flush it. I went in there to flush it. Man, I said, "Holy crap, are you all right, son?" Like, good God.
The amazing thing about children, when children, from infants to preteen, it's amazing what comes out of them. How did that ever fit in you? It's bigger than you, child. I remember my daughter.
I dig around. Like, good gracious,
my daughter had 2 runs, and I remember picking her up all the way up the stairs, up into the bathroom. It was still coming out when I got her into the shower to hose her down. It was still coming out. I was like, "Child, there's gonna be nothing left of you." Just stop
Oh,
it.
you don't weigh
Where
the
did it
20
just-
pounds.
Then
You
when
don't
you
weigh
get
the 20 pounds, and you should have $5. I mean, a 5-pound log.
Yeah.
then when you get old like me, you got to rely on this kind of stuff to even get a movement. You know.
Golly.
That's my first thing.
Raising
First thing in
cages,
the morning,
y'all
I
must
always
be.
have black coffee. Black coffee makes everything fall out of me.
Oh yeah, well,
My dad-
coffee in general is nature's laxative. Jalapenos too.
My dad used to say, because every morning he'd get up and go to the bathroom with a cup of coffee and a newspaper. He said the best laxative in the world is a cup of coffee and a newspaper. Drink that coffee, read his news, while he's doing his business.
Let it all come out.
I had to chuckle inside because when Cajun said jalapenos are a good laxative, yeah, they're a great laxative if you enjoy pain and torture.
Yeah.
Coming out all burns.
I must be allergic to jalapenos because other peppers do not do that to me. Like Tabasco sauce, hot peppers.
If I eat a real hot pepper and hadn't had none in a while, it'll do that. But if I eat them kind of regular like I do, I don't have no issues.
But jalapenos, I ate so much of that when I was younger, like a jalapeno burger and stuff. I used to go to Silsbee, Texas a lot and eat, and that's southeast Texas, just north of Beaumont, and they eat a lot of jalapenos over there in that part of Texas. Beaumont, all that too. You get a hamburger, you better tell them no jalapenos because they're gonna load you with jalapenos in Beaumont, Texas. And it's not Houston, there never was a lot of Mexicans in Beaumont, Texas, but they love the jalapenos, fresh jalapenos.
Yeah.
Not soaked in vinegar in a jar or nothing like that. This is fresh, and they never bothered me, but now they do. And
I was reading that comment, y'all talking about Taco Bell with all this shit talk.
yeah,
My wife texted me last night. She goes, "You want anything to eat?" She was leaving work. And I said, "Nah, I'm all right." She goes, "What about Taco Bell Whataburger?" I'm like, "Okay, grab me 3 soft supreme tacos." And she brought them home and I ate them. Then last night, man, I cut one loose, and she goes, "Oh my God." I'm like, Taco Bell, baby.
Yeah, should have got me a Whataburger.
I can tell you all the truths about Taco Bell because when the first Taco Bells opened up in Canada in Calgary, my friend Hub bought into the franchise and I invested in with him to help finance them. And when we did the hiring seminar, we had to go do a training course to learn. Then we had these big seminars at hotels to hire people, and it was just absolutely hilarious because everything is in a plastic bag and they have a deep fryer with water in it that boils it. So all your hamburgers pre-cooked, you just you boil it to reheat it. Your beans, everything, their cheese, everything is in a plastic bag in a freezer. Pull it out, drop it in the deep fryer full of hot boiling water, warm it up, pour it into the tray, in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like,
Oh
look
yeah,
at this.
that's their
Fresh,
assembly
yes.
line. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. She brought some Taco Bell probably about a year ago. Man, I got sick. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't stay off the toilet, and I said I ain't never eating Taco Bell again. I got over it.
I never had that Taco Bell do that to me, but I'm kind of particular what I eat from Taco Bell. I never did like crunchy tacos. Never in my whole life. Never.
Me either. I like the flour tortillas.
Soft tortilla shell, right? Now, I like their chalupas. When we come in off the snapper boat in Pascagoula, all the guys, when we cash our check, everybody would put in $5, and somebody would go to Taco Bell and get like 20, 25 chalupas.
Yeah.
They were $1 a piece back then, chalupas, just a regular chalupa, ground meat, sour cream, lettuce, tomatoes, all that with that. And I like that chalupa shell. I do. It's different than a soft tortilla, and
it's almost like a pita bread. Almost, it's similar. It's
Right.
kind of thicker and all.
Right. I
Yeah.
love chalupas, but man, they $4.50 a piece now. They used to be
Oh
a
yeah.
buck.
It's
It's like
crazy,
it's
man.
ridiculous.
It's gonna
I
get
used to
worse, I'm afraid.
I used
David
to call
Carlisle.
Taco Bell tacos pocket tacos because they were so small you could put them in any pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I ate
Pocket
them
taco.
3 last night, and I could have went actually for a couple more. It's like 3 just didn't do it. I really wasn't hungry. I didn't think I was until I started eating them. Then I couldn't stop.
I tell you what, y'all look up Smoky Ribs Barbecue right there. That's his channel name, Smoky Ribs Barbecue, just like the screen says right there. He's got a soft shell crab po' boy. And he's got something else too. I forget what it is. Shrimp and oyster po' boy, I think.
That's an old video. That was a long time ago.
And this thing is that tall
Mm-hmm.
and that long. Now, he cuts it in half and he eats this whole thing. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he ate that whole po' boy. I know he did. I mean,
Well-
he didn't eat it all on the air.
Well, I actually ate half of it. My wife was there too. That
Okay.
po' boy bread was that long, man.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time I cut it in half, it was that long. It's like,
Man.
holy crap. I couldn't do that nowadays.
The po'
Hey,
boys
David.
that he does, they are loaded to the gills. I mean,
Yeah,
I could
you-
eat a 6-inch po' boy of that. You know,
Yeah.
maybe 8 inches, yeah. You know, but
I can't
a
eat like I
foot-
used to, but I'm retired and I don't do anything to burn it off. But back in them days, shoot, boy, I could shovel down some food, you know.
I'll
Not so
tell you what's
much.
my favorite. Jamie says Wendy. I like Hardy, and there's a Hardee's in Pascagoula.
I used to like that Hardee's gravy, sausage gravy and biscuits.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like their chicken fried steak. It's a beef patty,
Mhm.
you know, it's breaded. It's a deep fried country steak, whatever they call it. But it's chicken fried steak biscuit in the morning. You get. They don't offer that for one of the lunches. They don't have
Right.
but they might have a burger with it. You know,
Yeah.
I never realized, but that chicken fried steak and egg biscuit, man, I could whoop one of them. I always ask them for a couple packs of mayonnaise, and I'll put almost a whole pack on one side of that biscuit because the biscuits are that big around and
Yeah.
that thick to start with. Then you got that big slab of meat hanging out of the edges and an egg or 2 eggs, whatever, and that's on there. And man, it's just and
It's pretty
almost
good
another
for fast
pack of-
food. Yeah, for fast.
yeah.
I'll tell you something else about Hardee's. Up north, after Katrina, I was displaced up to Illinois for about 8 months before I come back. And they had what they called Hardee's Red Burrito. And they did burritos and tacos. They did stuff like Taco Bell, but man, it was way better than Taco Bell. I really liked it, you know, just for fast food. But I always wish we got them down here, but I have never seen them down here. Hardee's Red Burrito.
Well,
I'm
it
a-
depends on the area you're in too. You know, like up there's a big Mexican influence up in that area.
Yeah,
A lot of work on the farms up there,
yeah.
and they cater to what's in the area.
Some of the stuff I seen up there before they would come down here, like CVS pharmacies, wasn't here yet. A few years later, it was. The Red Box where you used to rent videos.
Mhm.
All that was up there, but we didn't have them down here. And then all of a sudden we got them down here, but
Yeah.
all that stuff's gone anyway, man. Come internet down, streaming, that took over everything, you know.
They still have 2 red boxes.
Yeah, they
you know,
still got them. It just
it's more of an assortment. Like if you got 2 at the Super One grocery store or supermarket here, outside they have 2 red boxes.
the biggest thing that died off was video rental store like Blockbuster. All that's history now.
We were talking about that last night in somebody's stream, and the Blockbuster went out of business because of that video, and then the record shops, you know,
Yeah.
that was selling music, that went to the wayside. At least at my cousin's shop in Abbeville, they closed it down. If my cousin wouldn't have died, Big Dave wouldn't have died, Wanda would have probably kept it open. She kept it open for a year after he died.
Yeah.
And then that's about when the internet got real big with music, iTunes and all that stuff, and buying 99 cents a song. But she just didn't want to run it anymore. The memories, because that place opened in 19. My uncle's brother started that Abbeville Radio and Record. They sold TVs, and he was the repairman. He was the technician in the back working, fixing TVs, stereos, what have you. He opened that in 1957.
Today's technology pretty much wiped all that out. Like, I know my wife, she has all her music on her phone, and we get ready to go somewhere. She's got a little thing to put her phone on, and she'll put on a playlist, and that's what we're listening to. When I take the car, I just listen to the radio, but she has all this music on her phone that she's downloaded, MP3s. Cars don't even come with DVD drives anymore. I don't think. I don't know that, but I'm just assuming. Why would they?
True. I know when my Jeep was new, it came with a AM, FM, I think a cassette. I think there's a cassette one, and DVD. It's a 02 model Jeep Liberty.
Yeah.
But in the back, and this is all high quality stereo equipment that came with it. I forget, there's a 6 CD changer in the back of the Jeep. You can load 6 CDs in it, plus you got one in the radio itself. So you got 7 CDs, and if you got like an assortment of stuff that you burnt yourself, like I burn my own CDs, and we've got that loaded with Cajun music, French music, swamp pop, country, old rock, old rock, 70s, 60s, 70s rock, early 80s.
I had a CD player that was built into the radio on my 2008 GMC truck. I sold it to my youngest son because I retired and wasn't driving it, man. Hardly ever would I fire that thing up. I was worried about it, the gas going bad, having to do all this work. But anyway, long story short, when I drove the truck back and forth to work, I'd get these audio books and different people. I bought all these CDs to listen to, and that's something you can't really download. I mean, maybe you can, but primarily it's music. But I could order a library of these audio books. I'd keep them in the beside me there on the console, and I would listen to that stuff going into work a lot of times. So there is an advantage to them compared to what we got now.
And here he is, Mr. Raging Cajun. What's up, my cousin?
I don't know. What's going on, guys?
How about it?
Just talking shit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Hey, Miss Cajun.
He said hi.
Let's see. Jamie said something. I got an original cassette player, but I want to mod it to do auxiliary. Yeah. Michael said something. We've got lots of stuff to do here on that. Yeah.
What? How do you pronounce that name? Saer.
Sayer.
What are you in? Are you in a bus or something? What is that?
Yeah, I'm in right now I'm in a 1983 MCI Crusader.
Okay.
It's
all right.
It's a Greyhound bus.
I first thought maybe it looked like the windows on was almost like a sailboat. I'm like, what is he in? Then I said, that must be a bus. That's cool.
I used to be a bus mechanic, and I bought buses for mobile storage for my construction company. So that way, like what I do have other buses out in the job sites that have like a kitchen, a bathroom, and then tool storage and stuff like that. Okay. And I also had a couple that I was going to turn into motorhomes, but never went through, and they just became my own private storage and workshops on wheels. So,
okay. I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about school buses the way they're engineering design, they're, I don't know how well it works, but they're designed to actually roll over like in an accident without doing a whole lot of damage, to the kids or whatever. But I don't think they have seat belts on them. That's the problem.
No, that's the thing. They did actually engineer them for rollover to actually turn themselves right up in most scenarios.
Yeah.
Not all scenarios. But the fact that they never put seat belts in them, that's not going to help the poor children as they go flying into the roof and back into the floor.
Exactly. That's like a sailboat, with the long keels and everything. They're designed to right yourself. If they flip and roll over, they'll come right back up. Boop,
But the funny thing is, though, is because of how buses are designed and the length of them and the material that we use to make them, when it does come to impacts, it is actually safer for the child to not have a seatbelt because that child could be pushed out of the way of the impact. So when the impact happens, the child goes flying. That's why the seats are spaced the way they are, designed the way they are for crash impact. Because if a bus gets smushed on the side of that child could get pinned and trapped.
That's true.
It does, like, in that scenario, no seatbelt may be safer than seatbelt. But in a roll scenario,
I agree. Yeah. And all that, a child is more agile and he's more, if he fell, he'd probably just fall and roll over the bus, but he would survive that a lot better than I would.
Yeah,
it'd probably cripple me. Yeah, they're lighter, they're younger, their bones and all, they can handle that a lot better than we can.
Yeah, gravity is our worst enemy. To them, that's just another day in the playground for the kid.
Yeah.
They're like, let's do it again.
The older you get, the more rough it gets with gravity, because then we get the psychological factor. Like, I used to walk up on roofs, run on trusses, like literally without the roof sheeted, walk on the trusses all the way to the top, no problem. But now that I'm older, I look at this and I stand and I go, hell no, I could fall. I could hurt myself. Then wall. Damn it, I screwed myself.
I've worked in them shipyards for years, and I worked in very high places, man. 500 foot wasn't never bothered me, but when I'm looking at a step ladder now, I'm like, okay, now could you hold this ladder while I go up one step?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's because the older we get, the more we realize that the laws of physics do apply to us. When
they
we're
really
younger,
do, man.
It's actually like, you look at children and element, like in the playgrounds when we were growing up, we had tractor tires and car tires that we used to stack and use as toys. Now we as children were able to take that tractor tire, roll it all the way up a hill, climb in it, roll down the hill. But we had not learned about actual physics. We had not been taught the science behind everything and understanding weights and allowing our brain to comprehend the weight. And as we grow up, we learn how to comprehend the weight. So now we look at that tire and we're going, well, that looks heavy. So we go to lift it up, it becomes heavy. So we've been educated out of our gorilla mindset. Children have what's called a primate mindset, where the laws of physics that we learn don't limit them, so they get their full potential, their full strength. Because you look at babies, they have that little grip test where they can hold onto a bar for like hours and hours, but as an adult, they can't hold that grip they can't hold that grip for more than 5 minutes and stuff like that. And you look also, and babies being able to be submerged underwater and semi breathe. Yet we can't do that as adults because physics says we can't do that. But that's the thing, is we are educated and our brain builds up over this education safety mechanisms to prevent ourselves from hurting ourselves. And it also happens naturally with age, even in animals. The brain will build up a mechanism from experience that, okay, this could hurt me, so I'm going to limit your muscle capacity on that lift. Your body, and it's going to trick you. But in greater theory, we actually do have the potential to be as strong as our primate ancestors, because they don't learn about thinking about how heavy something is. They just look at it, go, big rock, move.
Gravity, man, it's a beast. That's just like women, man, especially the women livers that didn't wear the bras. Their boobs are down around their navel now, and us old men, our balls is hanging around our knees, you know.
No underwear.
Yeah.
Everything goes south.
Oh,
Pretty much.
shit.
Oh shit!
Let's see what that one says it's good for. Oh, where's my?
I finally posted a video after 3 years in hiding.
Interesting. What were you hiding from, Lady Spitfire?
Lady Spitfire. Hey.
Couldn't have been hiding
ball,
from me because they
Y'all-
just met me. So.
Y'all's ball do hang about 50. That ain't no lie, man. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. It's like, dang, man. Kind of like that song, I got big balls, you know.
I got big balls. Fat bottom women make this rocky world go round. Okay, all shit is good for if you're cooking fajitas, using a wok, Chinese food. Says they throwing in a brisket here, doing a brisket on the grill, smoke, make any dish come alive. Okay, so this is the special. This is the all shit. All shit. Let's see what the special shit.
I'll be back in a minute. I got to see if I can find that whiskey my wife bought the other day.
Oh, okay. Show and tell today. Yeah. Special shit is the all-purpose for meats, veggies, and seafood. We hope you enjoy our special shit as much as bringing our special shit to you.
That's a little bit of ebonics there. Oh shit! Instead of saying all shit, it's all shit. That's kind of ebonics.
Yeah, right. Special shit makes a fine gift whether you're a gourmet cook or don't give a shit. Special shit makes all your shit taste special. Okay, the good shit. This kind of looks like Miss Lowry's right here. That one there. Design sweetness. Okay. And using, chicken, ribs, pork into a masterpiece of flavors. And amaze your friends and hear them say, man, this is some good shit. Okay. And I think it was special shit. Their first one was that they come out because their email, their website is www.specialshit.com. Okay, and the chicken shit. Okay, yeah, you rule the roost when you use chicken shit to make all your poultry fixings burst with flavor. Okay, and the no shit is salt free. Okay, no shit. Yeah, so it's salt free. Who could have imagined a product without sodium could taste this good? Well, folks, this just proves that we really know our shit around here.
Hey, Daryl.
Daryl, what's up, mon ami? Okay, and the bullshit is, bring out the tender goodness of T-bones, New York strips, fillets, flat irons, and sirloin.
He says, hey, all you shits. A lot of shit talking here.
Daryl, to STB, let's see. Bullshit is the finest steak seasoning to ever grace a pantry. No shit. After extensive testing in our shit kitchens, we have come up with the perfect seasoning to complement the finest cut of beef on the planet, the ribeye. And I agree 100% with that. That ain't no shit. I agree. and that's all of them right there. All 6. So each one of them, that, or you probably just take a little bit of all 6, mix them together, and do a rub on a brisket or chicken, and cook that off the hot part of the coals, on a pit, indirect heating, and I bet you that would be some good shit right there.
Uh-huh. Oh man.
What you up to today, Rays and Cajun?
I was sitting down here in Olive Branch again.
Oh, that's right. Today's Sunday and it's afternoon, so you're at the pickup point now.
Yeah, back at the place where we bought the truck from.
Yeah, right. That's where you
We're
drop the
sitting out front
trailer off.
there.
That's where you drop the trailer, right?
The trailer's probably about 5 or 10 miles away from us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's sitting at the shipper. It'll probably be loaded tomorrow, something like that, or we'll pick up a load from that same location. Oh man.
Lady Spitfire, what's your video about? Actually,
I was able to pre-record more than a few videos to put out every now and then.
Oh, okay. That'll work. I'm gonna put Lady Spitfire channel link in here. Said after a few years, he on hiatus came out with some videos, a couple of videos.
What you want to know, Michael? What kind of specifics do you want to know about the trucking industry? You want to know hours of service? You want to know, I don't know, what you want to know? You keep insurance on your tractor. The trailer is insured through the company we are leased onto. See, the truck is ours, but the trailer belongs to the company that we get our loads from. So they handle that. They handle that part. And the truck is fully paid off. We don't have a truck note.
Not anymore.
Nope. Okay, one of those things I've wondered about. Yeah. Unless you're a full-on fledged company driver. If you're a company driver, well, the company handles truck and trailer. But if you're owner operator and you don't own the trailer, the company that you get your loads from, they handle the insurance on the trailer.
You get your cab insurance through your company, huh? Your umbrella package.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I had my trucks, hot shot and big trucks. The company I was leased to, American Transport. I was leased to Iowa Trucking at one time, and they wasn't doing that good. Nobody would call for loads to the company. If you had your own customers and you were leased to Howard, well, you did good. But if you were depending on the office to supply your loads, to call you with loads, no. So I went with American Transport, and they supplied my umbrella plan. $1 million umbrella policy.
As far as the maintenance for the truck, if it's a big bill, the company that we bought the truck from, they'll handle the bill, but they'll take it out of our settlement, and we can pay them in payments if we need to. but they'll handle the upfront cost. We just gotta reimburse them, basically. But they'll keep the title until the payments are pretty much caught up, or the maintenance is paid off, which is no big deal.
Russ, how's your freeze dryer things coming along?
Oh, it's doing good. I just dropped a video Friday. I freeze dried 4 dozen eggs. And at the end of the video, I saved a little bit just to rehydrate and show how they turn out. Couldn't tell the difference, man. Tasted just like fresh eggs.
Were they cooked, scrambled, or
Scrambled.
Okay.
They're scrambled. They're scrambled when you pour them in the trays, you know.
Right.
And then, I mean, the only other option I could have done was use them in a recipe because they're raw. You freeze dry them raw. You can use those eggs in a recipe like cakes or whatever requires eggs, or you can make an omelet, or you can just scramble them. You know, that's all I did. I just scrambled them up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it works good, man. It works real good. I want to do a lot of things with it. Going to do it, not necessarily on video, but just to put back food, you know.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and drop your that link to that video on the eggs. I got the notification from it. And
Let's see. Let me pull up YouTube.
Been busy with this monitor and a couple of other things in the last 2 days, so I didn't get a chance to watch it.
YouTube Studio content, incredible. Or it's the title is Chicken Eggs That Last 25 Years.
Right.
I changed the title today because that video is not doing so hot, which is different from what I normally do, you know. But
yeah, I've been doing the same thing with my my playlists. I'll go back to older ones. I'll change the thumbnail. I'll try to improve the description of the video, just to see if YouTube will pluck it back out there and let it get more views.
yeah.
Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't.
Let's see here. Let me find this live.
That's one way of preserving, Lady Spitfire. Like if you're canning something, this is not canning, it's freeze drying, and that's the best. That's the best way to do it instead of dehydrating like jerky and stuff. Jerky will last. Depends on the fat content.
Well, the advantage of freeze drying over like dehydrating, it's mildly cooking whatever you got in that dehydrator.
Mm-hmm.
And freeze drying is, if it's raw eggs, it's still raw. If it's raw meat, it's still raw. You can freeze dry cooked or raw things. It retains 97% of the nutrients, where a lot of like dehydrating, I think you lose like 40% of them. And canning just to me alters the flavor. But freeze dried foods, when you rehydrate them, let's say they're raw or cooked, tastes just like it did when you first cooked it, or like in the way of raw eggs, when you cook them, tastes just like you cracked the shell and did eggs. But you can do all sorts of things. The only things you can't do is, somebody asked this question, can you rehydrate or freeze dry bread? Yes, you can, but you can't rehydrate it because it's just going to fall apart. You know what happens to bread when it gets wet, but you can use it for croutons, breadcrumbs, stuff like that. So that's not a really good candidate for freeze drying. Butter, any kind of 100% fat, it doesn't freeze dry. You know, it goes rancid eventually. But even meat, when you do meat, let's say a ribeye steak with the flecks of fat and everything, you can freeze dry it, but you're not going to get 25 years. You might get 5 to 10 years before it starts changing, you know. Mm-hmm. But there's so much you can do. The what you can do far outweighs what you can't do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another method of preservation, but I like it because it really retains its natural state, you know. It gets rid of all of the moisture. Moisture creates bacteria growth, and that's what destroys and spoils food. If you get rid of all the moisture out of it, and then just add that moisture back when you get ready to eat it, whether you cook it or if it's already cooked, you're good to go, you know. And you store them like here's an example here. This is raw eggs. I did it on the 6th day of this month, 179 grams. There's freeze dried eggs in it. You put it in these Mylar bags and light cannot get into it. You store it in a cool, dry place. My wife buys this kitty litter in these plastic lugs. I told her when she bought 2 of them for the cats. And I said, when you get through with them, I'll clean it out good, let them dry. Then I'm going to start stocking all these in there and filling them up and write on there what's in it, you know, put them away and just keep going. All kind of foods. You do anything, vegetables, it don't matter what it is.
Yeah, those kitty litter containers, they got, you know, that lid you can snap back on, and it's just like a tote or buying a container at Walmart. Yeah. That was free.
Yeah, we already bought it, so why not utilize it? And not only that, let's say there ain't no chance in heck I got rodents in this house because of her cats, but let's say I did, mice or something, they'll get to that. They're going to chew into it. But if you got them protected in like a heavy duty tote or that plastic, you ain't got nothing to worry about. The eggs will last 25 years, man. 25 years.
I fill my cat litter tubs with water or make ice.
And I tell you why I started with eggs is because last year, you know, when eggs went up in price and they also was off the shelves, you couldn't hardly find them. I'm like, well, the next time that happens, I'm going to have some stocked up. So I've got 6 dozen so far done, but I want to do a lot more than that. Just, I could run this thing daily, you know, and just do all kind of foods.
We get eggs over here. We get the 5 dozen, a box of 5 dozen. It has 2 of the little egg crates in them.
Yeah.
Cardboard crates. Now, one on the bottom, full of eggs, and then there's another flat, you know, crate with 2.5 dozen more eggs. And I saved the boxes, and they real strong boxes, sturdy boxes. And then I saved like the storage stuff, and they're about, I don't know, 15 inches, about 15 inches, something like that, and about 7 inches tall. Good storage boxes. And like ice cream, the gallon container, plastic containers of ice cream. We buy ice cream by the gallon. We'll go through like 3 gallons a month, and it's now at $6 a gallon for the, you know, store brand at Super One. And it's not a store brand; it's actually a name brand. I just forget which one it is. And
open that. Hang on, let me turn that down. Let me turn that all the way down. Turn that other. I got my phone on. I'll show you what that freeze dryer looks like.
I muted the other one.
Yeah, just mute that one.
You've been cloned.
All right, ladies, Spitfire, you take it easy.
All right, let me turn my camera around.
All right, ladies, Spitfire. Safe on the road. Yeah.
How can I? Let me just do it like this. Can y'all see that? The freeze dryer. There's the vacuum pump for it. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's it. And it's got some other accessories for it. That's basically it. Okay.
Yeah, that thing looks like a clothes dryer.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It looks like an old GE stainless steel clothes dryer.
Yeah, them 4 trays is what you put the products in. And you can pre-freeze it, but I don't. You know, this thing will freeze 40 below zero. And the way it works.
Cold.
Huh? Yeah.
It's cold. Yeah.
The first thing it does is go into a freezing mode. It gets everything completely frozen. And then at that point, the vacuum pump kicks on. Then it pulls it in a deep vacuum. Then once it achieves the deepest vacuum it can get, and it runs at that for hours and hours, you know, to finally just get as low as it can get. It's kind of like being in outer space at that point. Then the warmers come on. Each one of them pans sits on a warmer, and it actually warms and freezes at the same time, and it causes all the ice crystals that's formed in the way of water inside that food to just go into vapor, and it clings to the outer. It's on the inside, but it's got like a vacuum chamber, and it just collects there, and it runs it, and it's got sensors that detects when it's fully dry, and then it'll turn off. Well, it turns off, but it's still running in case it ain't quite done. I got a moisture meter, and I can sit there and check to make sure there's no moisture in it, and it's completely done. And if it is, then you can just go into a defrost mode, remove everything, and you have to take it right down and go in there and start putting it in Mylar bags. If it's like eggs, you can run it through a food processor and turn it into a powder, and then just spoon it over into the Mylar bags. You put an oxygen absorber, because you're not actually pulling a vacuum on them bags. You're putting an oxygen absorber in it. Then you seal it. I seal it twice, and then store it. It's as long as nothing compromises that bag, you're good, man. You're golden.
What is the terminology for that? Sublimation.
Sublimation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes from a frozen state, like the water inside of the food. It goes from that to a gas. The natural order of things is going from frozen to liquid, and if you boil the liquid, then you get the steam or gas. But it's doing it under this. It's pretty cool, when you get down to it. How it works.
Is that the way they used to freeze dry stuff? Say like 50 years ago. Is that the same?
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same technology. It's just it wasn't available to consumers back then. They did it on a commercial scale,
Yeah.
and it probably filled up a whole room to do what this can do in here,
Yeah. You remember they probably still do it. McDonald's, their little regular hamburgers.
Yeah.
And their quarter pounders, they had what they call reconstituted onion. I think those were freeze dried.
Yeah, they're dehydrated or freeze dried. Same thing. They're not the same thing. Dehydrated is different. Dehydrated actually mildly cooks as it's doing it, but you could use dehydrated onions or freeze dried.
Yeah.
The thing about freeze dried onions, when you reconstitute them, they're going to be raw again. They're going to be just like a raw onion.
Yeah.
But
That's what McDonald's did. That's the onions they were getting was freeze dried.
Right. Because they dice them and mince them so small to where I love them onions, man, on them little McDonald's burgers. A lot of people throw off on it, but I like it.
How you doing, Billy Sean's Ministries, aka Money Maniacs? Money.
But yeah, I dropped that video, and it kind of talks about the whole process, and ultimately I showed taking a little bit of it and reconstituting it and just scrambled and made a sandwich out of it. Couldn't tell the difference. Got my wife to come in there and try it. She goes, tastes like scrambled eggs. I'm like, yep.
Somebody gave us I think it was Mrs. Mom's friend or something. They had this eggs, this scrambled eggs is all there was, and I guess they had some salt in it or something. And it was in these bags, big vacuum bags. And once you cut them open, they're not vacuum sealed anymore. And you just keep them in the refrigerator and use them as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, it's going to be scrambled, so you don't have a choice like that. You have to make scrambled eggs with them. And you just cook them and make omelets with them. I made omelets with them. I just ate the regular, scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Scrambled egg sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no difference between eggs that I cracked and scrambled with a fork before I cooked. No difference at all.
That's why this is.
These were actual eggs. It was in liquid form, and you could freeze them.
Yeah.
And you could freeze them in those vacuum bags.
Yeah, I also did. I did last week. I did some whole milk and turned it into a milk powder, and it's not going to taste like that non-fat dry milk you buy at the stores. It tastes just like the milk. As long as the trick to milk is the best way to do milk is put it in a freezer. Go ahead and pour your milk in it and let it freeze solid. Okay, then take that out and weigh it. Take a note of what it weighed. And when you put those trays in the freeze dryer, when it comes out, weigh it again. If it's fully done, if it's fully dry, you weigh them again, and then you take a note of that. The difference between what it weighed and what it weighs now is how much water it lost. So you write that on a bag. It needs this many grams of water to be just like it was before.
Right.
That milk is funny. You don't want to just pour in there till you think it's right. You want to know exactly how much you lost. That way, when you reconstitute it, it's exactly like it was before you started. It's going to be just like milk fresh, you know.
Right.
25 years later, you got milk. That's the beauty of it, man. You know,
I got a lot of powdered milk, which is good. You know, it's a good thing to have.
yeah.
But I'll use that sometimes when I'm making homemade bread. I have a bread machine. And if you don't have any liquid milk in the refrigerator, you can just use water and this dry milk.
Sure. We used to do it as kids. Coronation made that powdered milk, but man, it was non-fat. It tasted like diluted milk to me. But what I use non-fat milk powder like you buy at the store. What I use it for is sausage making. It's a really good binder for sausage. You can't tell it's in there, but it really binds that sausage good, and it helps hold in the moisture. That's what I use it for.
That's that powdered milk you used to get from the food bank when we were young.
Yeah, from the government, and kind of like them powdered eggs they used to give us, man. These freeze dried eggs are light years better than them powdered eggs. It's like it ain't even. I say it in that video. I say it in that video. It's just like it was for you cracked eggs.
Yeah,
That's just hitting the surface, man. You can take a steak, freeze dry it, you know, it's going to feel like styrofoam when you do it, and put it in them bags. And when you get ready to do it, there again, you got to weigh it before and after. With meat, though, it's only going to absorb back however much it lost. You can pour extra water and let it fully hydrate. And it don't matter if you still got water in there, you just remove it from the water, pat it dry, and then start cooking it. You know, you can do hamburger patty, you can do all kind of stuff. I'm just scratching the surface right now. You know.
When you freeze dry stuff, do you have to store it in a fridge, or can it be just
you got to put it in a Mylar bags. Now you can also put it in like mason jars. Let's say I freeze dried some strawberries. What I would do is put them in a mason jar. You got to keep it in a dark, cool place, though, because light is the enemy to it. That's why those Mylar bags, light can't get through them once they're sealed. But in a mason jar, you want to put it in a cupboard or something. Keep it away from light. But all you got to do on this thing, you open it up, you can remove that entire unit and take one of them trays, flip it over, and put them mason jars on top of that bottom tray, close it, and just run vacuum only. Now it's become a chamber vac. You can run a vacuum on them jars, and it'll suck that lid down just like if you're canning, put it on there. It's stored. Put it in a dark place, cool place. You're good. 25 years. 25 to 30, really. You know, I won't even live that much longer, but it'll be there for my boys or whoever. What's up, Lance?
How you doing, Lance?
I plan on living forever, so I've got to figure out a food source so I'm not stuck having to eat the surviving humans from Fallout.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, the way things are getting, that's what prompted me to get this thing. It's like I've been putting up canned goods and dry goods and all that too. You know, that's just another way of preserving things for a future time when maybe you're not able to buy it or get it. And they're talking about all these droughts, and I just ordered some wheat berries too. I'm gonna start ordering that. I'm not just going crazy. I'm getting things a little at a time for as long as I can, you know. And
yeah,
just putting them back.
In a year's time, you're gonna have a lot of stuff. It's gonna accumulate over a year. You know,
my goal is to get 5 years at least worth of food for daily meals, which I don't eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I eat like one good meal a day. I don't eat breakfast. We got Raisin Bran and stuff like that. I might make a bowl of cereal, and I won't eat again to that afternoon. I'm like the Indians, you know. I don't eat by the clock. I eat when I get hungry. When I feel hungry, I eat.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's
I'll
I
eat a
eat
good
stuff
breakfast.
like this until it's mealtime. Then I'll have a real meal. But the
Yeah,
simple
I
things
told my
sustain me.
Turner likes snacks. Show him those Skittles you did. Do you have a bag close to you somewhere?
no, they're I've
All
already
gone?
given them away. I can show you a picture. I can show you a picture of them now.
Hey, let me present you. I'm gonna go lean out the dock and get me another cup of lemonade.
This was the first thing I did in that. You take Skittles and you put them in there. It only takes 3 hours on candy, but it's got a candy mode. And you can do Skittles, you can do Starburst, you can do saltwater taffy, you can do those Jolly Ranchers. But you see how they expanded, and you got the little white centers. It now has a texture of like a malted milk ball. It's light and airy and crispy, and that fruit flavor just bursts, man. My son told me yesterday, man, I want some more of them Skittles. He said, boy, we love them. You know, I'm like, okay, eventually I'll do some more. You know, it's pretty cool.
Welcome to Smoky Rib Stream. It will last until Boo gets back from the docks.
Hi there, welcome to Smoky Ribs. I'm Russ Jones, and today, what was I just reading? Oh yeah, I live near Washington D.C. We'll be taking if nukes ever do fly over this way, they're taking out D.C. before anything else. They'll take them out before Montana. Montana in that area is where most of our missile are, but we already have them in the air, so they're going to take out Washington. The people making all the decisions, Pentagon, White House, Capitol building, history. Lance, you need to move, buddy. You live too close.
That's why I have a brother and a friend that own Bush planes. Second the missiles get launched, we're in those planes. We're going as far north as we can. We're going to build igloos and survive. Were they calling to let you know that your extended warranty was about to expire?
Is that hat straight? Boo, get me off this big screen. Dadgum you.
All right, hold on a minute.
There we go.
I was off the dock and get me a glass of pink lemonade.
I hear you.
Okay.
Where do you get those rings that you put around a bull pot after you get done when you're ready to cool the pot down after a crawfish bowl?
Oh,
rings.
Bull Boss.
Okay.
Bullboss.com. Or you can just make them.
Yeah. PVC. What I would do, Raisin, is buy you an extra pot because I know you probably got 2 or 3 burners like I got. Buy you an extra pot.
I got one big burner right now, but I plan on upgrading here shortly.
Okay. What you do is
2-pot method.
Yeah, 2-pot method. Do your burner that you're gonna upgrade with bigger and hotter. Use that one to rapid boil your crawfish, and then your older burner and pot. Use that to have your seasoned water. I used to do that at a boiling place in Houston, Texas. The guy's from Grand Chenier, Brad Applin. He owned Blue Water Seafood in Houston, and it was a small place like a diner, a small restaurant, and it was mom and pop place. And he made a killing with that restaurant. The first year, I know he gross sales were probably $2.5 million, if not a little more, because I know we would do $3,000 nights and $4,000 nights over there, and I was the master boiler for crawfish and crabs. over there. He was the boiler and all, but he had an accident with his thumb right here. Got it cut off at that first knuckle, moving a grill, like a restaurant. They had three so-called strong guys on one end. He was on the other end by himself. They had to take the top off of this thing. Well, one of those guys slipped, and it caused him to lose traction.
That's the
What is
two-pot
that?
method there. That video is only a few months old. It's 2 months old, and we
think
did
I've-
the two-pot method.
Yeah, best crawfish ever. Yeah, that's the one you
That's,
made with Keith.
Yeah, instead of boiling the crawfish, though, we steamed the crawfish to cook them. Then we put them in that soaking pot that we did first, and then just let them soak like you would in a boil. But they're so much cleaner, man. That steam, just that, and you're not using near as much water. You can get it to a steam real fast. You got to have some hard-hitting burners, you know,
Yeah,
and 2 pots. But, man, I'm a believer in that method.
Backwood boys, what's going on, Mona Me?
Hey, Backwood boys.
Oh, Georgia and Rose is here. How you doing, Miss Rose?
But the Shed Barbecue right up the road from me, that's where they do it. They got these huge boiling pots.
Yeah.
And they do what they call gray water. They boil the crawfish, and they got this
Uh-huh.
crane overhead that picks up these huge baskets and takes it over, and it puts it over in this soaking pot here. Same method, but
That's
you can
what we
either,
had.
yeah, you can boil it or steam it. You know, steaming just uses less water, and it's faster to get to faster to do. But
We had the
either one
commercial-
works good.
We had the commercial burners. It didn't take 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, for that water to come to a boil.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
we did the
use-
two-pot method, and we had a recipe, for so many, there were so many gallons of water in that soaking pot, and we put X amount of salt, X amount of Chinese red pepper, X
Yep.
amount of this, X amount of that, and then lemons, cut
Mhm.
up and squeezed out, and then the leftover, the halves after you squeeze them in that pot.
Yep.
Oranges, pineapples, actually
Yep.
pineapples, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've done that.
so
I've
I
done
had-
whole pineapple.
I had so many compliments on my ball crawfish. I got tips, like, here, tip the cook, whoever bought these crawfish here, sent him out here. There was a guy that said, man, I'm surprised. So he says, I'm from Louisiana. I'm pure Cajun. And he says, I want to meet this guy that's balling crawfish. I want to see where he's from. And so the waitress says, look, there's a guy that wants to talk to you out here. Wants to know where you're from. I said, just tell him I'm from Abbeville. I'm a little busy. She says, I got this. I was preparing some plates that was ordered. Go talk to him for a minute. I'm like, okay. And guy said, and I recognize the guy. I mean, I'm like, damn, I know this guy from somewhere. And he's like, man, you are the best crawfish baller I've ever seen in my life, besides me, he said. So he says, where you from? I said, it's a little town south of Lafayette you probably never heard of, Mouton Cove, by Abbeville. He says, that's where I'm from. What's your family name and all that? Oh, man, I know your dad. I know your uncles, all your aunts, your cousins, all that. He says, are you the Lucas with the record shop? I said, yeah, that's my Uncle Lovelace, my dad's brother. He said, oh, yeah, man, I go in there all the time. So anyway, so that's, a compliment right there, and a $10 tip,
I've got a video, and I was with Frogbone, Keith Jenkins, same guy I did the video with 2 months ago. It's back when he had Frogbone Cajun sauces, and we went to Slidell, Louisiana, to that hospice crawfish cook-off, and he was the only one there doing steamed crawfish using that method, 2-pot method. And I've got it on video. There's a video on my channel back then about, God, man, that's been 7 years ago at least. First time I ever had seen it done. And people coming up, man, these are the best ones out here. There was people bringing him more crawfish because they couldn't get rid of them. We cooked everything they supplied, which I think it cost back then $1,000 just to enter that competition, but you didn't have to buy none of the crawfish. They bring them to you, And then the people that came in there bought tickets you know, like to get in or whatever. But they just kept coming back like, my God, these are good crawfish. And it was that 2-pot method, you know, it's like so
Right.
clean. It gets rid of any mud, grit, just whatever, you know.
Right. I
I
had
ate the
I had the monorail, overhead monorail in
Yeah.
the Paulsen kitchen. I had that, electric winch, and I just hit the button up, and I just slid it over, fast as I could, and to get it in that warm soaking water. I think it's like 160 degrees we used to keep it at. We kept it at a constant temperature, about 160, something like that, 165, because Brad experimented with it, on the temperatures of different temperatures of water, like 180. Well,
You talking about the soaking pot?
yeah, the soaking pot. He
Yeah,
did a lot
we
of
pull
experiments.
ours down to 150 or under because they even still cook a little bit at 150 slowly, but 145 is usually what I shoot for. Let them soak for good 20, 25 minutes like you normally would. There it is right there. It's the 2018. That was 5 years ago. No, that ain't it. That was a different crawfish deal I did.
All right, you're getting a little tired, sir.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I woke up early this morning for no reason. I could have slept in, but now I'm starting to get the old timer dizzies. I don't want to pull a Frosty and start accidentally banning people with my nose.
All right, Turner. Appreciate you coming in, bud.
Love being here. You guys have a great stream.
All right, Pluta.
Dang, I must have passed it. But it's somewhere on my channel.
I've watched several videos on your channel about the crawfish bowls and stuff like that.
Yeah, somewhere in here, I've got another video with the steamed crawfish, and it's just me by myself. Anyway, it's on there somewhere. It's about 7 years ago.
Yeah, is that the one with the boiling ring or the 2-pot?
It was 2-pot. Oh,
Okay.
I've got just regular bowls on there using the bowl boss. I got.
Yeah, but I would, instead of getting the ball boss, I think those are about what, $35, $40.
I don't even know, man. They always send them to me. I got three or four of them for different size pots.
I used to know what they cost, and I want to say in that area, but instead of getting the boiling ring, take that money and add a little more to it, and then get you another pot.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing that pretty soon if I can, tell them at the scrapyard over here, hey, if a pot comes in, let me know. I'll come in and I'll buy it, because I can buy it by the pound.
Yeah.
Whether it's aluminum or stainless, I don't care. Boiling aluminum pot doesn't hurt anything. Boiling crawfish and crabs.
I've always used high performance pots, and on that video I just did with Keith, my steaming pot's stainless. It's not a high performance. So on my first video, I said 5 minutes. 5 minutes, they're done. But I was using a Cajun rocket pot, and that's all it took was 5 minutes. But if you're using a slick bottom pot, then you just got to go until they get the right color and it has no splotches on them, and they're done. And even when you put them in that other pot, like I said, if it's up to 150, 155, they're still going to slowly cook. But not much. But we just sit there and stir them in that steam until they look like they're all done. Then we pour them out, and they're good that way, man. That's the best way, in my opinion. But if you don't want to do that, I'll still do regular boils because it's just easier to throw everything in one pot and cool it down with a boil boss. But I do prefer the 2-pot over them, as far as taste.
All right. All right, Mike. Appreciate you coming in, bud.
It's gotten more and more popular. I remember this one guy, Southern Boys Outdoors. He lives somewhere over there in Louisiana. And he come on my channel. He said, I call bullshit on this video, And Keith knows him. And anyway, we had some words, passed it back and forth, and I told him, I said, well, like I said in the video, this 2-pot method comes out of Louisiana. It's not my idea, like that. Anyway, Keith called him. He said, hey, man, he goes, Russ is a big channel, and somebody like you, cause he's a big influencer too. He goes, you can really hurt his channel with comments like that. Well, but what's funny, since then he's got his own 2-pot videos. If you go to Southern Boys Outdoors YouTube, you'll see it, 2-pot boiling method. And now he boils them, he don't steam them. Same thing.
Right.
I want to go on there so bad and just call him out, but I don't. I'm not like that, you know. Matter of fact, we talked on the phone after Keith got through him. He called, and took his comments down. He said, "Man, I apologize." You know, I said, "Well," I said, "you just got to try it to believe it." I said, "There is a difference," you know, and he finally did. So there is no hate or animosity. But it just kind of, it was funny to me that eventually he come around. Now he's doing it, you know.
I saw that comment.
I think the wife wants to get me one of those crawfish caskets.
Crawfish what? Casket?
The crawfish, yeah, the bull caskets, the big ones.
Yeah, that's the one you.
Oh,
you
okay.
flip. You got the square. The top's made like a coffin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's coffered actually. That's where the word coffin comes from. And then you raise the basket and flip it over, and the lid actually is a chute.
Oh,
Once
yeah,
it's
yeah.
flipped over, and everything goes in your ice chest.
Yeah.
I like those, but that's a 1-pot method though. You use it on that, unless you have 2 of them, which that's about a $600 outfit right there. You know.
I'm old fashioned anyway. I just do the old method.
Single pot, but that double pot. Once I did it, and that was the first time ever doing it at Blue Water Seafood. Now I do a 1-pot method because that's all I have. You know, right now is a 1-pot method. Now, but I do have another other burners. I just need a little fitting here, fitting there, and I'll be up and running with a 2-pot system.
I wouldn't mind having one of them pots you just talking about, but I would want it to have a high performance bottom to it.
Oh, they do. Look at Kip's Kendall Fredericks.
Yeah.
Cape Fred.
Uh-huh.
Look at that latest crawfish video they did. They were running the crawfish traps in the basin with Kip, Cape Fred and Kip, and I forget the other guy's name. He works for Kip.
Yeah.
After
I know you're talking about. I've seen those videos.
Ran the crawfish traps. They brought all the crawfish to that big boil for 500 people, and that's what he's talking about. That's the boiling system that he's got. Got that flip, big old basket, flip it over. It's square, and they have a huge one over here in town at a crawfish boiling. They call it a boiling point, and I don't know if it's open right now. Probably not. Anyway, crawfish season's over with here for the most part. They still have, you can still buy crawfish. Pricey. Instead of $15, $20 a sack, because that's what it was getting them for. They were selling. If you bought 2 sacks or more, $10 a sack.
Wow.
Yeah, $10 a sack.
Can't beat
that.
that.
That's how plentiful they were this year and last year.
Yeah, I got them at a good time. When Keith come over to do that video, they were nice sizes. And then my son did I say my son, I actually did 4 sacks for him last month. And he could have got larges. That's what I got. But instead he got mediums. But those crawfish were not mediums. They were small. Got them at Bozo's over there in Pascagoula.
I was thinking, you can go to Bozo's and they have live crawfish.
And he bought 4 sacks. And man, you bought way too many crawfish. You only had like 20 people there. And I said, 2 sacks of large, you would have been good, But he learned,
But what we do, we always buy more. Like if we just got 3 or 4 people, we'll just get we'll get 2 sacks. But what we do is we break the tails after they boil. After everybody's ate and all that, I'll go easy on or no seasonings, whatever, and then I'll just boil and we'll just break the tails. We'll scald them and break the tails, put and freeze them just like that. A lot of times Missy goes ahead and peels all of that evening or that night. She'll stay steady peeling. She'll sit on the floor, and instead of standing up and bending over the sink or whatever, I'll break all the tails and she's peeling. and
Yeah.
we'll have 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds of tail meat. You know.
Yeah.
Randy, what's up, mon ami?
Yeah,
Oh,
you could.
yeah.
Hey, Randy.
What's up, Randy? Yeah, you could take and vacuum pack like a pound at a time of that instead of having. You could buy them like that. That's what I do. If I got a recipe that needs crawfish, I'll make sure they're certified Cajun out of Louisiana, and I'll add that. Matter of fact, I did a crawfish boudin not too long ago on my channel,
Right,
and that's
right.
what I used was 1 pound of crawfish tails ready to go.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
last time I did a crawfish boil, I did 100 pounds. We
Yeah,
ate what we could, and
broke
well,
the
we
tail.
prepared the rest of it and froze the rest of it. So
yeah.
wound
When
up,
Keith
wound up with a lot.
when Keith come over for that video, I bought 2 sacks, which is about 70 pounds. And he had to leave after that first, and he had to go to Lake Charles that night. So he left after that first boil. Then me and Derek finished the second, I say boil, steamed, then soaked. And that was for Derek. He bought 1 sack and I bought 1 sack. So I carried back home the ones I had left, which was most of them because Keith didn't. I mean, we ate a little bit on video, but he had to go, you know. So I had almost a whole sack to bring home here, and every one of them got 8.
There you go.
If we actually wound up down in Louisiana to be permanently living next summer, I didn't get to do a crawfish boil this year.
Where you
Kind
live
of
at?
sucks. Well, right now the wife was living in Michigan. And I moved up there for her,
Okay.
but we were looking to relocate in Tennessee. But I'm kind of hating it getting down here in Tennessee, and Louisiana is where I pretty much belong. So we're really contemplating moving back down to Louisiana.
Yeah.
He's raising from Chalmette area.
Okay.
Yeah, down there about St. Rose, New Orleans area.
I got to live around my salt water, man. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do a video on how to distill salt water into drinking water, and just for a video, you know, using a moonshine still.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm going to call this one a little early tonight. I'm usually out by 5:30, but sometimes I'll still go to 6. But I know Lance is going live here in a little bit, and I know you need to, you're going to be there, Russ, and I'm going to try to be there too. How long does Lance go for on Sunday? I forgot. 2 hours? Oh, you muted? Yeah, Russ.
I said it all depends. It can go anywhere from. I've seen it go. I've never seen it go just 2 hours, but I have seen it go as much as 8 hours. You know?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So because I know I plan on being there later. I've got something to do at the not at the radio station, but I'm going to be listening to K-Bone and getting a hold of Christy Daly. She has her show, Weekend Wrap Up with Christy Daly.
Yeah.
She goes from 6 to 8, 6 to 9. I'm sorry.
Well,
And
all
never
right,
know.
man.
I might be over there, ladies, me and Missy. Never know. We
Yeah.
go co-host with her tonight. So, all right, Raging Cajun, you want to start with your outro and then let Russ do it?
Yep.
I'll do mine.
My outro.
Oh,
Okay.
well, Russ, good to see you. Good to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Cajun, thanks for sending me a link. Always a good time, pleasure. Everybody in the chat, y'all stay safe this week. Make sure you make it a profitable one. Don't do nothing stupid. Use a tool, don't be one. But like I always say, y'all keep those wheels spinning, your beavers grinning. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, Russ.
Later, guys. Enjoyed it.
Okay.
I hope y'all did too.
Yeah, we did get red light Landis tonight with all the bullshit going on.
Yeah.
Bullshit season. Okay, where's the other one? Oh yeah. You know that white stuff on top of chicken shit? Y'all know what that is? The white stuff on top of chicken shit?
It's chicken shit too.
More chicken shit. That's it. All right. Raising Cajun and Russ and Sire Turner, I appreciate y'all coming up on the panel tonight. And everybody in the chat, good seeing y'all again. Appreciate that. Simon, yeah, I'm finishing it up right now, but I see all the barbecue cooking guys in Lance's stream after a while. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing a few things after a while, so that's why I'm ending it early. And all right, y'all know the routine. It's good being north of the grass. Y'all stay safe, be that way. Be that way, stay safe. And as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later. Blue top.